Hey everyone, hope you're doing good. In this episode, talk about a little bit of taking care of yourself physically. So, everybody thinks going to the gym and, get it in their head that they have to be super fit if you go to the gym. The main thing is that makes people stop is they're not seeing the results they want as far as weight and everything. Does it really matter that much, or does it matter how you feel? Does going to the gym give you more energy? Do you feel better mentally? Like maybe less brain fog, all that kind of stuff. You get more social, you start to know people around there. Um, it's not all about getting the main result that everybody talks about, and really that's more of a superficial way of looking at it when most people just ignore all the real perks of just general better well-being instead of just focusing on the weight. Sometimes different body types or other factors that haven't been looked at yet. Not exercise isn't always the answer. There's many different routes for losing weight that can be taken. You just gotta look. Just look at all the alternatives. It's not like you're gonna find it all at once, but if you start searching, that's the main thing. Most people just assume there's nothing, but they don't look. So just remember when you have a problem that the mainstream way of doing things isn't working, just start looking somewhere else. It's as simple as trying some Google searches, even anything, and you'll start coming across articles, and pretty soon you never know where it might take you. Or a lot of times I find health is very much connected to your spiritual health, and I truly believe that that's everything is connected to thoughts, and that's where it all originates. If you have a clear mind, you'll have a clear body, as far as I'm concerned. A true clear mind. Just, what would even be the word? Just absolutely content and happy with everything. That's the goal, right? Just absolute bliss. So start thinking in your mind, what are the things that go against that I'm always thinking of, that need to be addressed. Start cleaning out the mind more than anything. Stop focusing on all the external things. If you notice, the world has become more and more external as time goes on. And look how that's working out for everybody, right? And look at the disease rate and everything else. It is just what the word says, dis-ease. Everybody's stressed out, you know? So clear out the mind. And if you start exploring the mind, so to speak, who knows what you're going to find. So many people have just shut the mind off as far as exploring. So many people, you get out of high school and you think, I'm done learning. Just onto a job and an endless cycle of trying to save money and collect material things, and that's not right. And the mind suffers. Since I've worked on my mind, consciously for about the last 5 years for sure. It's been more through the life, but consciously, consciously wanting to learn, and it doesn't even really matter what it is, just keep learning something. I mean, it's not like you have to be the next Einstein or anything. Just anything you're interested in, look into it. So many people just are picture people. Oh, that looks nice. That looks nice. Say, just first, something to try or practice is, say you go through Facebook or wherever if you're on social media scrolling through, and say you're on one of those travel sites or something like that, right? And they're advertising a photo of some sort. Find out where the photo's from, what town even. Like you can research into these things a lot of times, or especially with the travel site, it'll tell you what area, blah blah blah. But research into that area, find out the history about it, look into what a trip to there would cost, you know, and then all your accommodations, everything, figure all that out, figure out all the other things there is to explore in the area. And you know what? You might just talk yourself into actually going to somewhere that you liked, instead of just liking it on Facebook and a virtual, and then you never see it again. What if that trip completely changed the way that you thought about life forever? You never know. But instead, when everybody's in the materialistic world, it's all about likes and comments, right? What you look like to other people. Just start liking, commenting your thoughts. And the results will be much, much better. It's a never-ending game where you just keep learning more and more information on a deeper and deeper level. When you start connecting the dots of the whole puzzle, so to speak. You know, when you think of everything in the world, or the universe even, as a puzzle, and say you just take the traditional route of getting out of high school, getting some office job, or even a assembly line job. You learn that one task and you're content with just doing that for the rest of your life, and you never really look into anything else, you know. So that's one tiny piece of what life actually is, in, you know, the puzzle of life. So why challenge yourself to find out what try and find the pieces of the puzzle that connect to your piece, and start expanding your view and seeing more and more of the full puzzle. That's what life's really about. Do what you need to do to keep learning and exploring, keeping that fire that you had when you were a kid, going out into the woods, exploring. Everything's new. You know, you think of most people, they plan a yearly trip, maybe, if they're lucky, that those are looked at as the lucky ones, that go to like an all-inclusive resort with corny music and sugar drinks. They're there for a week. They save up the whole year to sit on a beach and drink drinks that they could have in their garage. And by the end, they start getting depressed because it's just about over and they're going to have to go back to their life. Does that seem like the life that people are meant to live? I don't think so. we really need to start looking deeper inside of us what our true desires are. That doesn't mean you need to try and figure out your whole life right now. Just start trying little by little, and it just starts snowballing, right? And before you know it, you're just going to be a little happier and a little happier, because you're not just looking forward to that one exciting thing per year. Now you're going to start putting a lot of those in front of you and figuring out exciting ways that it doesn't mean you have to spend a lot of money on them. It means that you look and explore in your local area and find places that you and things that you didn't even know were around you in the first place. There's so many different things. If even like in a small city, that most of the time people don't even know are there. That's how it was for me. Like for instance, a few things I tried. Got into bouldering a little bit. Like it's kind of like wall climbing, a little bit of that as well. I mean, those things are all over the place when you look, and it's cheap and fun. And there's always like I find that taking beginner courses in whatever it is that you're interested in really takes the guesswork. Don't worry about how old you are. Who cares? There's always every age group in those things. It's not like you need to be embarrassed that you're whatever age and you don't know about this or whatever. You know, you got to get that out of your head and just focus on the learning. Yeah, so there's bouldering and Meetup. That was a good app. I think that's worldwide for the most part. Any interest you have, you go on this Meetup app, and it'll show you all the groups of like-minded people in your area that you can join. And it's actually was a group that Meetup. I learned I was interested in tarot cards, so I'm like, well, I want to learn about that a little bit. And next thing you know, I'm in a group with people that are all wanting to do the same thing, and you bounce ideas, and it's good conversation. And when you don't want to go, you don't go. It's not something where you have to go. It's just they tell you when there's a meetup, and if you want to go, you go. That's how it is. And there's all categories, everything you can think of. You know, hockey groups, drop-in hockeys, all that kind. There's anything. I guess hockey. So you know, I'm from Canada. If I'm talking about that, but you just start looking for ways to do what you haven't been doing your whole life. Think like a 7-year-old you. You know, just a little kid. What did you want to do on a daily basis when you're that age, if you were allowed to? You know, it would be exploring of something. You know, you're still thinking big back then. You know, if you were asked where you wanted to go or what you wanted to do, if money was no object when you were a kid, you know, it definitely wasn't. Let's go to the pub with my friends and do the same thing that we always do. You know, so just something to think about. Start cleaning up the mind. As I truly believe that all that noise and fear is the big thing that controls everything. But the more of the puzzle that you put together, the less fear you have. That starts taking the fear away from things. You got to break through that fear barrier and just say, screw it. Let's try something. And like I say, it doesn't cost a lot of money, and it doesn't even take up a lot of time. Instead of coming home one day after work and sitting on the couch and watching useless TV shows meant to waste your time and direct the population in a way that a certain group wants it to go. Get rid of that and look at all the time you'll free up when you stop watching rerun shows that you've seen 100 times, or some sitcom series that you can pretty much guess exactly how it's going to go anyways and means nothing. So spend your time more wisely when the payoff is massive because you're improving yourself. Imagine what you can do. Just think of it as however many extra hours of schooling per day that you can put in. If you put you don't have to put all your time. Like, there's certain TV can be fun and educational, and it's good for funny stuff. Lets you unwind a bit, but just say 2 hours a day where you would usually watch TV. Just research something, anything you're interested in. And I find a good thing to also do that really got me thinking a lot is going and getting biographies, reading biographies, because you're going to find a very similar pattern when you start reading biographies of successful people. They all think very similar. You'll notice something. So I challenge you to start doing that more. They all knew where they were headed before they got there, for the most part. Some people are blind, but they all had a very strong dream, right? So that's what the name of the game is. Clean up the mind, and don't focus so much on all the material stuff that doesn't matter. You truly can't take material things with you, but pretty sure the knowledge passes through. What are your thoughts? What is that? Is that the body, or is it something else? So if this helps you, please like and subscribe. Help this get around. Share it if you want, and we'll be back with something else here. Thanks.